Let's do something. If you're not set up, get set up. People still wandering around. By the way, for those of you that have a staff, you can practice with a full-size staff. I know that somebody just got their hands on a full-size stick. One of the ideas for measurement is just above the eyebrow, two fingertips above the eyebrow, something like that. You can also go to the head top. But all of these BIAN techniques can be used with a full-size staff. So even from the beginning, be careful in your home because it's much larger. But you can use all of the same techniques, sometimes with great effect because of the distance that they cover. So this very versatile form, use it with a shorter staff, use it with a longer staff, use it with a knife, blade. We can look at some of that in a minute as well. So, same thing, if you're starting with a blade, cutting, casting. And then here's the thing with the blade, because you can't wah-bah, this is an advanced idea, we'll cover this later for those of you that have swords to work with. Because you can't wah-bah on the blade, or at least it's dangerous while you're in action to wah-bah. Every wah-bah is actually a 180-degree flip. So once you get to that point, because remember the stick has two sides, they're equal. This has two sides, which is the yin and yang, right? The yang end and the yin end. So we have to, because we can't interchange them, we have to put the yin end in its right place. And we'll get back to that later. In the meantime, let's actually do something. Let's start. Put your feet in line. And then let's do some breathing. So just as if you're reaching all the way up to stretch, and then inhaling to inflate, compressing the chi into your dantian. So like on the exhale, when you're pressing, like you're squeezing everything in. So on the inhale, opening up the center, the dantian, and on the exhale, like you're taking the newly ingested chi and squashing it into your center. Go at your own pace and make this first part a stretch. So take your time, reach all the way up, and see if you can expand in all directions. And on the exhale, letting everything down, out. Reach out to the sides, reach up to the top. And stretch your whole body. So pushing from your feet through your head top, your fingertips, relax your tailbone. And then come back to the center. Let everything line up in the center. Take a deep breath. Relax. Let's do a little bit of a stretch, a little bit of a warm up. Starting with the head and neck. Just take your hands and hold your shoulders in place. And then you can think of it in a couple of different ways, as if you're relaxing the head top, or if you're pushing the head top. Either way, or some combination thereof. So change directions if you haven't already. While you're working, remember to do the long breathing that we just started with. And then imagine that your head top is while you're turning, like a puppet. Right? There's a very famous sort of group of puppets. And imagine that you can, as if your hand was inside your head top, that you can stretch it to the extent. And so that means that your wrist would be pulling on the front of your head, on the front of your neck and chest. And as you turn, all of this, like the material, stretching. And then come back to the center. Whatever kind of stick that you have to use, put one in the back, and then let's actually just do a little bit of massage first. Feel over each shoulder blade, over top of the shoulder blades. And then when you come back to the center, we're going to turn. So keep your jawline and your hips facing forward. See if you can relax your spine. And then make some smaller ones. And then make some much longer ones. And then relax. So let's take this and use it as if it were I'm going to use a different one. I'm going to use an even shorter one yet for this exercise. Like a stretch. So you can walk your fingers up and down the stick. Try to get it to where they're touching. And when they're not touching, use your finger strength. I can't see if it's capturing that. To bring the hands closer together. I think in the yoga, I think they have some kind of bandha. They have some kind of hand lock. In this one, you don't have to worry about that so much. Breathe and then change on the other side. Whether you come out over the top this way, or whether you come out from underneath here, either way, change. Do the other side. If the previous side was more or less flexible than this current side, then you can be happy that one side is better than the other. We want to try to balance it out, just like Tai Chi. Let everything relax. Try to pull your shoulders and elbows back, and then breathing deep. Again, come out from underneath or going up from over the top. And then we're going to do another one. This next one is benefit if you have a longer stick. If you're holding it and you just turn it vertically behind your elbow this way. So you'll see there's a couple of angles. We have this straight line that goes down where the stick is. And then we have another straight line which goes horizontal with my elbow. This next one should be straight here going up, and this one can be straight back here, right? So this is the shape. And then holding it with this hand, like you're dragging the stick on the back side of your arm. You can reach this hand out, you can reach the wrist out. So massage from the posterior deltoid all the way up between the shoulders and the tricep muscle, which is here. You may reach the outside of the bicep, all the way down to the elbow, and apply a little bit of pressure. And then change on the other side, flip up and over. and then the same thing. So I start with the correct alignment, and then just like this is my pivot up here, and like I'm rubbing this underneath. And then you can get both hands working, or just use one or the other. You can connect it to your center here. If you straighten your neck and turn to look up at the corner of the stick. And then we're going to change, we'll do another one, which is if you take your fingertips here and then pushing, so like I'm extending this way to stretch open the chest, the pecs, the shoulders, and even into the arms some. So use your stick like an extension of this hand. Breathe deep, push all the way up, and then you can add to this by, if I'm facing west, I can turn all the way to the east, point my stick to the east, and then extend my head top. Turn and look, breathing. Turn even further, push up into the corner like you're shooting a pool cue with the base hand, and then change on the other side. Same thing. So now the same, if I'm pointing in this direction, when I turn, by the way, this stretching technique, stretching by pushing up to the corner this way, is not a BIAN technique. The other one is, this one is rubbing the back of the arm this way, is BIAN technique. This other one is a Sui Jiao technique. Sui Jiao is a form of Chinese wrestling, and so they use some sticks to do some of the stretching and whatnot. So what's next? Let's set the stick down, and we did a little bit of turning this way. Let's work on without the stick. If I face the other direction, this one, because this one is the basis. This one is the basis for this exercise, where if you're holding the stick like you have it for the salute, and you turn it over your shoulder, and you reach across here, and then go to the center line. So if I'm facing the camera, pressing up to the center here, and then turn it over the shoulder, reach, and then with this hand, under and up, and then over. This hand reaches, up, under, over, reach, catch, up, under, over. So go to the center, make this accurate. So you can, by the way, you can get pretty fast at this. I don't recommend going too fast indoors in case you lose your grip, or you have to, but outside when you get a chance to practice, don't worry about getting to the center, but when you're going slow, when we're developing the muscle memory, get to the center so that you practice accuracy. That way when you get outside, when you do get a chance to go fast, and what is the center is, if this is I have it facing here, is from here, I go center, up, and then the same thing, center, up, center, center, center. If I took the bag down, we could practice a hit and a slide, right? So you can imagine the initial hit and then sliding up the center and then bringing it back to try to keep that in your opponent's gate right in the middle as much as you can. So this is a basic exercise. And then next, let's actually set this down and just do a little bit of turning. Just turning around the hips. Hips are the largest joints of the body, so there's a lot of tissue connected there. Take the time, do the breathing. And just with this, imagine this is the one stretch for your hips you're going to get all day. So you want to really slow down and push it to the corners. And change your breathing to be more relaxed. And then change directions. Does it help to grip your feet? Does it help to have a very serious expression while you do it? And then come back to the center. Next, let's just do one of these so we'll make it count. We're going to do a little bit of bending at the waist. So activate the top and the bottom, folding at the center. So grip your feet, push your tailbone and your waist away. You can shake your shoulders, your spine, your head, and your neck. Letting everything sink. So activate your feet. Really release your back and your neck, your spine, and your head. Imagine pulling the top of your tailbone closer to the ceiling. And then relax your back so that you can feel the energy moving. Remember to breathe while you're upside down. And then when you're ready, grip the ground, unroll the spine, pull the head top all the way up, and relax. Next, let's do, you know what we'll do is we'll come back to this one. You can practice balancing. If you have a chair, you can practice the chair. If we remember, let's practice doing this one at the end, after we've done a bunch of lunges in this class. So we'll do, we'll come back to this one for the knees. Meanwhile, to warm up the knees, let's practice a little bit of Qigong. So rub your hands together, create some friction, have it make a sound, and then bring your hands together, bring your feet together, and then put your hands on your knees, and then like you're surrounding the kneecap, and feel the heat transfer from your hands to your knees. Grip the ground. And see if you can change the tendons going on the over top of the kneecap this way by activating your toes, by activating your feet. Just grip your big toe and then activate the outer toes on the corner, the pinkies. Breathe deep. Relax your lower back. Use your abs to support. And feel your knees. Feel all the tendons. Do they feel the same on both sides? Is there a difference? Breathing deep. Let's change. Next, for the legs, we're going to do the back of the leg. So grip one foot. The other foot is pushing forward. If I'm on camera a little bit more. Push the tailbone back and away. Keep the back and neck straight. Breathe deep. And then tapping the back of the leg. You can use power, you can make it light. Remember to breathe, make it a stretch. Keep your power to your toes so they're pointing upwards towards the ceiling at the minimum. And then when you're ready, push forward. Stand up. Change on the other side. Grip the ground. Push the tailbone back and away. Straighten your back and neck. You can use this to support your standing knee. Turn your toes upright. And you're using one hand or the other. You may notice it's more difficult to hit certain angles, certain ways with one hand than it is the other. So practice delivering power realistically to your leg, equally on both sides. Push forward. Does that make sense? You understand what I'm saying? When you're doing the right hand or the left hand, one hand's very accurate. and can be very powerful. And the other hand, not so good. So let's practice balancing, go back and do both sides again. Doesn't matter which one, first or second. Just try to make the power even and accurate. Grip the ground. You can use your elbow on your knee if you like to take some more time. And this is okay if you get the rhythm. Sometimes we don't want to have that kind of muscle memory with rhythm, but in this case, because we're hitting equally up and down, find a rhythm and then change to the other side. Grip the ground, push the tailbone back and away. And then the same thing, find the rhythm, get it even, don't hit the floor. Remember to breathe. Slow down so you don't make mistakes. And then when you're ready, stand up. Okay, let's do the form. Before we continue, does anyone have questions, thoughts, comments on something that we're working on? We are rounding up the second section. We're about 3/4 of the way through the second section. So tonight, I think we will cover 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movements. We may do more than 5 movements, but there's only 2 new ones, and then the other ones are a repetition of stuff that we've done. So, before we cover any stuff, let's do the form first and second section. I'm going to move around, so this can be a confusing form because there's no set footwork. When we meet in person, we'll have a north-south sort of direction to it. We can use this. Meanwhile, allow your feet to touch, and then keeping the correct shape. So we have this hand is round, and this arm also round. By the way, for those of you that have videos or have seen videos of Master Guo doing his stick form, you may see he's doing this, or he's doing this. You can do all those things. When you go to the competition, make it the best correct. This one has a different kind of energy than this one. And this one also has a different kind of energy, right? It's putting your stick. There's another way to think of the salute, because you may have your stick, and if you meet your opponent, instead of saluting this way, you may go from here, as if you're keeping them at bay, right? So the first part can get to here. Doesn't have to be here. There's many different ways to think about it, but let's use the correct one. We'll practice many times this way, and then you can modify it. So here, ready, block, cast, recoil, flip into your elbow, smash, cut up, spinning block, still going north. This is drill. High hit, low hit, tip up, tip forward, turn, 2, 3, going south. I'm going to go back here, reset. So now as if we're going south, but we're going to use north here. Flip wah-wah and flip into your elbow. Reach across, spinning hook under. Reach across again, catch. This is smash, going north. Pop up, hit under. Changing directions, pop up, hit under, reset. 1, 2, and then catch and turn. Bring your feet together, turn the other way. Next, if we're facing north, we're going into the elbow, smash, smash, right? And now the end is the same as the end of the first section. We're going to make this into the fan, turn, ankle hit. So now we will be facing the other direction again, the same thing, ankle hit. And from here, step back, block right, block left, step forward, salute. So you see we're not far. We're very close to the end. So this is a tidy little form. It has it can be very dynamic. It has a lot of fudging, a lot of power, and is just one of the most unusual ways to handle weapons because of all the turning. So let's go back to, let's do the first and second section up to Iron Fan 1, Iron Fan 2, I think is where we took off last time. And then from here, the next one is a sweep, and then another sweep. So there's these two sweeps. Those are the only two new things we're going to do tonight. Everything else is a repeat of what we've done. So let's work up to that. We'll do those two, and then we'll connect the dots from before and after those two new movements. So from the beginning, we'll go slow. By the way, I'm going to use sort of a work over this way and work back so that you can see it from the side. I feel like traveling away from the camera, maybe not the best way. So if we're here, if I'm starting from the salute, we're ready, block, cast, waba, flip into the elbow, turn and smash, catch, cut up, waba, spinning block, set up the drill, and then drill, high hit, low hit, tip back, tip over the top, step, 2, 3, now facing 180 the other direction, ankle smash, waba, flip into the elbow, catch and hook under, and then catch, smash, right? So from this smash, this is the pop up, poke back, and then reset. And now take the other hand, pop up, poke back, reset. So Iron Fan, change the palm, 1, 2, and then next, waba, this left hand goes out, and we're punching the hand up to the corner. And then next, let's actually do the next one, is we're going to take the hand that we just punched up to the corner, and we're going to switch right now. This one is at the waist, and this one is up in the corner. We're going to turn to the other side, to the left, and we're going to bring the feet together and spin. So this hand is now at the waist, and this hand is now up at the corner. By the way, we're using the gate, so if you think about the doorway. Let's review the pop-up and Iron Fan, because there's two of those. You'll start to see some of these movements, they're paired, right? They have we have a pop-up one direction, poke back, pop the other direction, poke back. Iron Fan 1, Iron Fan 2, and then this is sweep 1, sweep 2, something like this. So, let's go back to the basic, which is just turning this, right? It's just practicing getting this thing floating. And so experiment with something like letting the weight drag this other hand, and once it hits here, once it reaches the end of its arc, like you're going to bounce it back up. See how it's sort of, when it hits this side here. But now, we're going to switch it so that our other hand gets underneath it fast enough to lend it a bit of a boost, right? So we're just tipping it up this way, right? And then we switch. The other hand goes under. And when this side reaches, we have to switch it fast and smooth enough so that we can reach the end here and then throw it up and switch, right? So this, make your feet nice and accurate, parallel, breathe deep. You can do the Tai Chi standing. And you can get the rhythm. It's okay to have rhythm with this one. You can make it non-rhythmic, but so that you get used to the feeling. This is especially important once you have a BIAN, once you have a stick that's yours. If you have a staff, if you have a weapon that's a permanent weapon, practice with it a lot. It will really make a difference in knowing what the weight, what the height, how long all that stuff is. So even just turning a little bit this way with that weapon will give you seat time with the weapon. So now we can see pretty easily how that goes into the pop-up, right? As we pop up, as we're throwing up from this side here. And then if we bring both the hands together, my thumbs facing each other, and we're keeping it close to the dantian. And the reason for that is we have control. And the hand that's not sliding, imagine if you have a wall, like a brick wall, and there's a metal ring. This is attached to your center, and this other hand is allowing this to slide, right, for the movement. So if you have the longer stick connected here, and then this other hand sliding. So this is fixed. So we would think of it as attached to the dantian, but there's no hole. We don't have a hole, right? Unless you have an Audi with some type of body modification piercing, you have the thing there, right? You can't put your stick through there anyway. So you use your hand and it's affixed to your dantian. And then the other hand can move about freely, right? You can change it to hit further there. You can, depending on the range, wherever you want to hit. But this other hand is fixed, right? We have a hole and it's connected to the dantian. So it's pop up, hit, and then the reset is just any time your hands are parallel. They can be anywhere because we're going to change. And with the other hand, we're going to pop up. And wherever we pop that up is the same line of action that we're going to move to do the other attack. So let's say in this case, I'm going to travel due west. And I've just done my reset now here. If I pop up west, I want to do my poke also west and line this way. But let's say I change this, and it's now northwest. And I've just done iron fan 1, iron fan 2. Oh wait, sorry, no, opposite. Pop up, kick back, pop up, here, right? If I want to go to that direction, when I turn to go up this way, this should also point in that direction. So think of this like turning a stick along the wall, along the surface of a wall. The same thing here, right? You're making like a windshield wiper that goes across. The same is this pop up and hit back. By the way, he taught both ways when we do this for the hit back. One is both hands down, and the other one is after we pop up, we're holding it, this one palm up, but the same thing, it's locked to the center. So you can do that either way. I think the more BIAN way is with both palms down, right, to get this kind of jabbing power. So we get the idea for directionality. Let's see in the form. And by the way, when I do these, usually I do them at minimum of 90-degree angle to show that there's a difference, and maybe as much as 270-degree angle. So what I mean by that is, after I do the smash on this side, if I pop up, I'm going to go to that corner and poke back to that corner, and then the next one, I'm going to go either to that direction, that corner, and maybe as much as 180, right? I just went over there, so I'm going to now up from here and go here. In iron fan, I can turn 270 to that direction, hit, and now I'm going to hit the same spot there. And then the next one, sweeping up to the corner. So those are the next two. Let's do this. If you take your stick and you hold it, you'll have to mark it if you don't have markings, right? There's when you have the full size one that goes from the ground up to about your mid sternum, or if you measure in this way, it goes from your elbow to your fingertips. When you have that one, you'll see there's actually some hand position markings on the stick, and it's for those of you that have the correct size one. You have a 1, 2, 3, and you see that this row of dots on top. That's the fourth one. So my fourth one goes here, right? So even with when we do the salute, pointing is not very friendly, but for this one, I have it set up so that my finger covers the dot when I'm holding it this way, but if I want to reveal that, I can point. Right. Anyway, fourth hand grip. When you're set up with the fourth hand grip, if you're holding it around there, right? For the smaller stick, it doesn't matter. But if you're holding that to the corner and you take this other hand, like you're lifting the stick up to the edge of your gate. So imagine I have a doorway, a gate, and I have one hand is in my hip pocket. It's here, it's locked. And my other hand is going to reach up to the top corner of my gate. You see the stick is vertical sideways that way. So imagine you have an opponent in front of you. You're just going to sweep like you're doing like some kind of weird left hook. But now we're going to attach the stick to it. This is a pretty powerful movement, right? And then we're going to add a step too. So if I'm facing, let me face the other direction. Right? If I face this way, and I just take my hand and I sweep up, back, up, back, up, back, up, like you're making this shape here, right? It's up and forward. And then we're gonna do a cross step. So like in the Tai Chi form, when we study the Tai Chi form, there's a common pattern that happens in Tai Chi, in all styles of Tai Chi. We have an opposite hand and foot, right? This is considered a good boxing step, right? It's this kind of thing. We can have same side, same foot going, but in the Tai Chi, a lot of times we have opposite hand and foot. So we're going to think about this next step like a Tai Chi step. And so after we have Iron Fan 1, Iron Fan 2, this hand is going to sweep, and I'm going to step my right foot forward. Right? By the way, so this is, because you guys are rounding out the second section, this form is also an empty hand form, right? There's a Kung Fu form that you can practice. I won't give away the secret of how it changes. You should be able to figure it out. But if we start and we do the whole form with the empty hand, right? This still works. It's very, very cool, very, very versatile form, very fun. So when you see me doing this thing, when I'm sweeping and punching up here, you can think of it just like a punch. But now you also have a stick in your hand, so you're punching with a stick. So if you have, by the way, let me try to demonstrate with the shorter stick. This one is here. Is just, if you're just punching, and you see what I'm doing is I'm actually turning my torso. So my foot is in line with my square, right? Using the same idea for Tai Chi square. And my stick is also in line with the side of that square, which is the side of my gate. So I go from wherever this is at to here. We don't want to go further because this, I'm exposed and I'm over-rotated, right? And we don't want to just get to here because maybe the power is enough. We need to strike through the object, but also not swing past our own gate. And what's the benefit of this? Even if you're using the larger stick, it should be very apparent, especially if you have a target. If this is my target here, let me actually set this up. Is if I have iron fan 1 and 2, right? This kind of sweeping is nasty. Try, like I know Mark, you have access to a bag. Hitting that thing with a stick is just like a left hook, but instead they're getting the extension. And then we're going to add one more thing. Remember, from the iron fan we have 1, 2. The hands are connected. They're still here. And then when I'm stepping, I'm going to do the same thing just like the beginning exercise is this throw, but like a controlled throw with an anchor, I'm going to step and throw. So this hand is sliding across to hit. And it can slide out or back, right? So because just like the spinning block from the first section. But the spinning block from the first section, the reason this is different is because in the first section, the spinning block goes backwards. And in this one, in addition to not actually spinning, we go forwards. It's just a 90-degree turn, right? Like a door handle that turns 90 degrees this way, as opposed to the spinning block, which is a 180-degree spiral, right? We go from this one, from this cut up, is turning 180. Whereas from here, what we're doing, iron fan 1, iron fan 2, is just turning 90. Right? Before we continue, questions, thoughts, comments, ideas. Let's go to the next one. So, again, to review this one, if you have the stick and you're holding it about 4 hand widths, 1, 2, 3, 4 hand spans, right? You have your right hand, and you're holding it in your right pocket. And then your left hand is turning this way, just to the gate. And then your right foot is stepping forward. Step, corner. Step, corner. Step, corner, right? So this. And then what's the next one? So when we step to the corner, the next one is we're going to take this left hand and we're going to turn it over on the stick, right? So my thumb is up. I'm going to turn it over so it's thumb down. And then from there, I'm going to turn the stick the other way, to the other side of my gate. And so now, it looks like this. If you look at your arms, they're going to feel kind of round, right? The one arm is round this way, the other arm is round this way. So we've gone from up in the corner here, like a sweeping uppercut. And remember, this is one of those things where sometimes the more relaxed, the more power, right? And then once we change this hand, we're going to turn the other way, right? So you can think of this as up to one corner, switch the hand, up to the other corner, right? When I say corner, I'm thinking about, imagine that your gate is like a 3D structure, like a box, like a refrigerator box. And you're inside that box, right? Just the wireframe of it, we just see the edges. So now if I'm facing that other direction, if I have, coming out of my second iron fan, I have 1 and 2, I'm going to take my left hand and my right foot going forward. And now when I change my hand, I'm going to take my left foot, my right foot's going to step in together and get to the other corner. So this is the next posture, right? The feet are together, the thing is here. And this is, so this hand again goes down to the left, and the second one, the left hand goes to the corner pocket, and we're going to bring the feet together. So stepping, feet together. And the power for this one is the turn, right? Should feel, if I'm facing the camera, if I'm going to approach the camera this way, after my iron fan, 1, 2, I go to one corner and sweep to the other corner, right? So you should get this zigzag power. That you get this big dynamic hook here, and then you're all sprung right? Your feet can be aligned. You see my alignment for my feet is in line this way. It's very good. My gait is here. And now when I turn this, I'm going to step to this next corner, and my foot closing adds to the power. These two, when you get a chance to practice them back to back, right? Charlotte, that looks good. Don't go too far, right? Don't open the gate. Only go to the edge of the gate. So if I use this direction here, I have my sweep to the corner, sweep to the corner, right? And you can connect those pretty quickly. This is another thing about this form is you can get things connected up, right? To where they're nice and smooth. A, B, C, D, E. All the dots can be, I break it down very linear so that we can practice for the class. So, the next two movements I said we would do at least 4, if not 5. The next two movements we've done before. So if I'm facing that direction, we'll say I've just done iron fan 1, iron fan 2, and I do sweep to the right corner, close and sweep to the left corner. We're going to go back to the right side now. So I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to flip it over itself, sticking to elbow. Right? So right, that's good. Yeah, so if you're holding it, one hand up, one hand down, doesn't matter where, and you just like a twist tie, and then you let that hand fall into the elbow this way. Right? What's this for? Is if I have power here, right? Is that kind of hit. So, by the way, we have something in the Taiji form. We have, if you're doing Rufang, Subi has something similar to this. Where were we? Okay, let's do from iron fan. I'm going to travel in that direction, right? And so it doesn't matter which directions you do your iron fan, just as long as when you're ready to change, you're going to punch up to the corner, bring your feet together to the corner, and now going back to the other corner again, twist tie your hands into the elbow. And then the next one is the same as in the first section. We're going to turn the stick over and then smash. We'll do more of the connecting the smash because there's 2 of them. So it actually, after we get let's see, iron fan 1, 2, hook, cross, elbow, smash, smash, left and right. So let's actually try that if we're just going in one direction. If we've done the smash correctly, the posture should look like a Chiling Bu, right? Which is like this kind of straight step with the knee bend. And then the stick is perfectly level. The hands are palm down, thumbs together, facing this way. And we've just done, the posture comes out of this. Right? So now if we have this, we're going to, hang on, I have to, here, elbow, smash. And then from here, we're going to waba, take this other hand, smash to the other side. We're going to practice this going back and forth, right? And so now from here, take this other hand, reach, slide, smash. Now the right hand slides up, the left hand, smash. Left hand slides, smash. Right? Think of it this way. Imagine your arms as a circle. We talk about this round shape in Tai Chi all the time. Being able to keep your opponent at bay by using the springy round circle. All you need is the power to push your own body weight away, no matter how much they press. So with this one, if you hold it about the middle, and you make your arms a circle, and you smash to one side, and then turn. If I leave my feet out of it, I just have a tall horse stand to the knee, and then bring it up, and go to the knee, and then bring it like my elbow is coming up and over, knee, knee. Breathe deep. And then add some hand sliding. Waba, smash, slide, turn the circle, smash, slide. I'm counting the stick as part of my circle. Slide, slide. So this waba, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. But in the form, we can practice 1, 2.
Ryan, are your thumbs facing each other? Are you like thumb to thumb?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Are you like thumb to thumb, like your thumbs
Yes.
together?
Yes.
The whole time?
Yeah. So, when I'm changing to this one, yeah, I'm keeping them together. I'm just sliding my hands as such. So if I have my hands together both in the hip pocket here, I'm going to slide up and then reach this one up and over and then slide back to the hip pocket. So now slide up, reach up and over, back to the hip pocket. Slide up, reach up and over, hip pocket. Turn. So let's just practice this as a very simple exercise, right? Is if you pull this back to the corner and then from huko, from tiger's mouth, sliding this up and over, down to smash. And now this hand slides back, this hand turning up and over, smash, slide, reach, smash, slide, reach, smash, slide, reach, smash. This is a double, we're doing a double waba. I'm doing a waba here, and then as I turn the axe, turn the thing, I'm sliding back. So I waba, turn and slide. Waba, turn, slide. Waba, turn, slide. Waba. Right? So the name for those two is smash. So let's review. We have just a minute left of what we can do. So from Iron Fan, if I'm facing the other direction, I'm going to travel in that direction. I have, if you see my feet, careful not to hit anything. You have Iron Fan 1, Iron Fan 2. This hand, slide, feet together, other side, twist it into your elbow, turn, smash, slide, smash. Let's do that again. We'll go 2 more times at least. All right, so now if I travel a slightly different direction, is after my Iron Fan, right corner, left corner, elbow, smash, smash. This time I'll travel in a completely different direction. I'll go that way, right? So after Iron Fan 1, 2, left hook, right hook, elbow, smash, smash. So by the way, without the stick, these punches, it is like a left hook. This one isn't like a right hook. It's like almost like a haymaker, because we're going to end up with the with the pinky facing up. So for the first one, it's more of like a traditional style punch, right? We can be holding the stick this way and we step here. The second one is like turning the steering wheel. So I use my center and I use my body to get this power, right? It should feel pretty powerful. And you see, even without the stick, right, turning the body, turning the center, this kind of power. So here, 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 here. Questions, thoughts, comments? Let's take a second because it's late. This is a late class, and we're doing a lot of Kung Fu. So let's do one thing before we do some breathing, which is sort of allow everything to settle. So when we do this standing, relax your shoulders, relax your tailbone. And do the deep breathing. Keep the tongue connected to the upper palate. Relax your shoulders. And imagine the energy collecting at the center. If you have a coffee or a tea and it's too hot, you have to let it cool down. The same thing, you just make up a bunch of energy. So allow it to go to the center. And then we're going to close with some Qigong. So on one side or the other, it doesn't matter. Just the very basic sunrise, sunset. So inhaling all the way to the top and exhaling all the way out. So keep working. I believe all of you have done this Qigong before in the past. This is a pretty basic one we used to do in the park all the time. Activate your feet. But what I want you to do is keep your hips static, so they're not moving, right? So that they're facing forward for this particular exercise. I want you to turn your waist one way and turn your waist the other direction. Keep working. So while you're working, when you're breathing, this is locked and this is turning. I want you to feel as you turn, inflating. You can go at your own pace. Everyone likes to breathe different when they're practicing. And turn all the way so your shoulders are facing the side, east and west. Breathe deep. Check to see that you have a very relaxed expression. Half smile is the minimum for Tai Chi. Kung Fu does not have that requirement. In fact, there's some types of Kung Fu that suggest you make a very serious face. You make a very threatening face. In the Xingyi books it says, use the 5 viscera to terrify your opponent. It says, like, keep breathing, keep working. It says, draw back the skin around your nails to reveal your claws. And it says, pull back your lips so that your teeth, they can see your teeth, right? And it says, let the energy be so much that your hair stands on end so that it looks crazy, like a wild animal. And it says, the muscles are tense and push the tongue up to the roof of the mouth. So it says the 5 viscera, the tendons, the muscles, on your eyes should also be crazy. Wherever you're at, change directions, go the other direction. So in Tai Chi, we're talking about some very basic things. Half smile is the minimum. This is a good way to practice Tai Chi. There's other forms when you go to see and you see other Kung Fu masters practicing something and they have a very serious expression on their face. They're not doing it incorrectly. It's not Tai Chi. There's another way to do it, but they're doing something. So we have a yin and yang to each one. In this particular one, this is a cool down exercise, so make sure that you have a very cool down expression on your face. Did we change directions already? I'm not counting. Going at your own pace, keep breathing. We'll do 2 or 3 more. If you are counting, try to balance them out as much as you can. Turning the waist, lock the hips. And then when you're ready, bring the hands back to the center. Allow them to float. Bring your feet together. Just let your hands rest at the side. Move your mind into the dantian. Your body will straighten out naturally on its own. Looking inside internally to your dantian. Take a second to smile, breathing deep. Internally, take a second to give thanks. One long, last deep breath. And that's it. If you have questions, comments, feel free to call, email, write. You know how to reach me.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Thank you.